The Democrats are absolutely out of control with this vaccine mandate stuff. It's October 7th. Thanks for tuning into the Lecture Fan YouTube channel. I'm going to start making more YouTube videos. I just got done with my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/lecturefan. We were talking about the vaccine mandates and stuff like that. Joe Biden literally pushing false information in his speech today, claiming that if you've got the vaccine, you can't spread the virus. So then I was searching, and there was literally a CDC study that came out in late July saying that you still can spread the virus, which is why they went back to mandating masks even if you've got the vaccine. So I thought that was ridiculous that Biden's pushing that. And moreover, the CDC even said that the viral load of somebody that has a breakthrough infection and is vaccinated is the same as the viral load of somebody that was unvaccinated. So all of this weird stuff happening with the vaccine mandate, and it just bugs me so much that Democrats are using this argument. Well, we've had vaccine mandates before. George Washington had a vaccine mandate. George Washington forced his troops to get the smallpox vaccine. No, and we've had vaccine mandates for kids in schools for a long, long time. And it's like, oh my goodness, just because something was done in the past doesn't make it okay. Lots of things have been done in the past that were not okay. And liberals should know that. They're the ones, this is one of there's no consistency whatsoever. Democrats are always the first ones to come out and say, well, just because we did something in the past doesn't mean it's a good thing. Because oftentimes it's conservatives who are the ones that are saying, hey, we've got a lot of history here as humans. We should look back to our past and to our history and learn from what's been going on in this country and with humanity and governments, and we should learn from the past, and this is how people have done it. And then liberals are the ones that say, no, it does. We're geniuses. That's why it's like these liberals, they think they're the most genius people to ever walk the earth, and that for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, humans have had, for example, traditional sexual morals or traditional families and something like that. And Democrats think we know better now. We know better now than any human ever in the history of the world. And so the idea that previous vax mandates means that vax mandates are okay is absolutely preposterous. Moreover, there's just so many differences between, having kids have to get mumps and rubella and measles vaccines to go to school compared to this COVID-19 vaccine. But anyway, just because we've had vaccine mandates in the past, just because George Washington did smallpox vaccine mandates, that does not mean that it's okay to do COVID-19 vaccine mandates today. And so but moreover, there's so many differences. Oh my goodness, these flies in this place are bugging me. I worked in here with the door open today. Now there's flies in here. But no, there's so many differences between those situations. Number one, we're not at war right now. We're not in the middle of a war. Number two, smallpox had like 30% fatality. That's not the same as COVID-19. COVID-19's fatality is way, way lower than that, okay? The vaccines are different. They're different vaccines. It's a different time. It's a different situation. It's a different vaccine. It's a different disease. All of these different things. And just because it was done in the past doesn't mean it's okay. So don't let any of these leftists or Democrats say that, oh, the vaccine mandate is fine just because it's been done in the past for kids going to school. Not the same thing, and doesn't mean, frankly, maybe we've learned more about human rights. Maybe we've come further along in terms of respect for human rights. Maybe we know more about civil rights because we've seen more of what happens when governments violate people's rights. Did you ever think of that? Did you ever stop and think in that one? So no, this is some of the greatest, this just absolute travesty with these Democrats trying to force the vaccine mandate on people, and Joe Biden trying to do it with the federal government, and then Democrats citing Massachusetts v. Jacobson, literally a case from the early 1900s that had to do with a state mandate and had to do with smallpox. Not applicable, not the same thing, not going to happen. And then I heard a Democrat actually say, well, it's not like we're preventing people from having jobs or preventing people from making a living. Yeah, you guys are. You guys are firing people. You guys are terminating people. You guys are destroying people's lives because they don't want to get the vaccine mandate. It's not okay. It's not okay whatsoever. It's a huge affront. And I don't want to hear ever again. I never want to hear another Democrat talk about bodily autonomy. How many times have you heard Democrats talk about my body, my choice, my body, my choice, bodily autonomy? You can't tell me what to do with my body. You can't tell me what to put in my body. Oh, women should have an ultrasound before they have an abortion so that they're educated and informed about their choice. You can't. That's rape. That's government mandated rape. You can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, but now you're forcing vaccine mandates and you're cool with that. So I don't ever want to hear another Democrat talk about vaccine mandates or talk about abortion and reference my body, my choice or bodily autonomy. They don't give a shit about bodily autonomy. They don't care one whit about my body, my choice. Those are BS political slogans that Democrats use for their partisan political purposes. If Democrats actually cared about bodily autonomy, they wouldn't be in favor of people forcing people or the government forcing people to literally inject something into their body that they don't want. And so and then Democrats will be like, the other argument they'll make is, well, COVID-19 is a serious disease and lots of people have died from it and the vaccines are safe and effective and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, that doesn't matter to the mandate argument. That does not matter. Vaccine mandates are something that brings into play people's human rights, their human dignity, freedom of choice, bodily autonomy, all these different things, and it's like conservatives do respect bodily autonomy. The thing about abortion is that they think that there's two bodies there. The baby is alive. That's a human life. It's not just a single body. It's not just my body, my choice. There's two bodies. There's two lives. So, conservatives actually care about civil rights and human rights a lot. We are the ones that actually believe in police reform, genuine police reform, where they have to get warrants to do searches and they shouldn't be able to pull you over, because you're not wearing a seatbelt and stuff. These Democrats are so disingenuous and all of their arguments are totally just situational and opportunistic. It's like Democrats complaining about the budget deficit or Democrats complaining about the debt to try to shut down a Republican government funding idea. It's so disingenuous. They're doing it just for political opportunism and it's convenient. So it's the same way with all of this other stuff and policing, especially. Democrats are in favor of police knocking down your door to arrest you because you didn't get the vax or you disobeyed a lockdown or something. I mean, look at what's going on in Australia. The government police officers literally beating people up because they went out on a walk outside or because they decided to go to a protest or they went out and literally went to a beach. I spent an entire Twitch stream literally looking at what's been going on in Australia. And there was videos where the Australian police officers were literally saying like, yeah, we had to arrest this person because we caught them outside watching the sunset. And Democrats support that here. Democrats would love to get away with what's going on in Australia. They would love to get away with doing that stuff here in the United States. You know it, and I know it. And, don't let them ever tell you that they care about police reform either, because they're the ones that want the police coming in and knocking down your door and arresting you because you didn't do what the Democrats told you to. It's insulting.